Hey there, Beth and George, Follow Up Boss. I want to give you a tip that maybe or maybe not you had considered, and that is, firstly, do you want me as a customer? Think about that when you're talking to your next customer or next potential customer. Get in their head and think about what they want and need in order to consider you as the person they want to buy from. 5 tips I want to share with you when interacting with your next customer. So number 1, be sure to respond to their messages in a timely manner, whether it be call, email, however they're reaching out to you, especially if they're asking for questions. Make sure you are responding to them quickly. They want to know that they can trust you to be there when they need you, especially if it's some kind of service-based business where they are relying on you to be their point of contact. Number 2, be sure to reach out to them when you haven't heard from them in a while, because oftentimes we get busy. And even if you had shared information with them and it looked like they were right on the buying line and then they just went poof, disappeared. Like many of us know what that feels like. And it could be life just got crazy, or maybe they lost your contact information. So this is a great opportunity to reach out to them, not in a, are you gonna buy from me? But more of a, I hope things are well for you. Just want to touch base. And be honest about it. This is a very important tip, and there's lots of opportunity here for you to really add value to them and show yourself as a person. So think about that one next time. All right, so number 3, share free advice. Now this is really important in the relationship style business because oftentimes for many of us, we need to try something out first. If you're a service-based business in particular, this is really important because they need to know that they can trust that you know what you're talking about. They need to see what you're like, experience your knowledge, and kind of get a feel for what it would look like to work with you. Then they can start consider honestly buying from you. If you're a product-based business, let them have a sample or to test something out, that can really gain a lot of value and traction with them. And number 4, please don't try to sell me. All of us love to buy, but none of us like to be sold to. Now there's a distinction between trying to sell somebody and being sure to ask. That's the other side of it. So many of us don't want to be that pushy salesperson that we never ask for the sale. I want to be asked, but I don't want to be pushed. That is the difference. So if we're having a conversation and we're talking about our kids, don't suddenly try to sell me, or don't make the whole conversation about your product. But let's have a real conversation. And as we get engaged and get to know one another, then we can move into business. You tell me about your product. If I'm leaning in, I'm interested, but that's the moment to ask. Be sure you ask, but don't push me into a sale. And number 5, don't disappear. Oh my gosh, this happens to me all the time as a consumer. They just disappear. And I might lose their contact information. That is the number 1 reason why people don't get sales when you haven't talked to someone in a long time, because they disappear and that person doesn't have a way of contacting you. It's your job to stay in contact, to stay in touch with those people. That's why there's lots of ways of doing that, lots of different strategies on staying top of mind, staying connected, but not being buggy, as some people are afraid to be. So if you want to learn some strategies on how to implement these 5 different tips in a way that is authentic and real and builds long-term customer loyalty, reach out to me, Bethany George, the Follow Up Boss. Let's help you shine.